interesting things going on in basketball tonight.
Yes, it is. And we're trying to cover it all.
Here's Harden. Flicks it to Zubac. Operating underneath and scores again. Feels like a matter of time. Doubles for Ivica Zubac. The points are already there at 14. The boards are closed at 7. Davis guarded by Kawhi, then a pass intended for Lively when a second defender came.
That would have been tough to deal with.
And in transition, going upstairs is Norman Powell.
The quarter really important to get yourself established.
Off target on the 3. The team back in December at home and lost by 23 at December at home. And lost by 23 last night. Harden looks off the defense and softly sets it up for Zubac.
That's a he got in the lane.
Well, the third quarter has opened with a 6-0 Clipper push. Points in the third quarter for the Mavericks. It was 61-52 when the quarter started. 6 in a row by the Clippers before Davis with 3 the old-fashioned way. Puts him at 19. That's what he's averaging with Dallas. Flipped up by Zubac and in.
And more attention.
8 for 8 tonight now, Hart. 8 for 8 for Zubac. Couple of free throws. That's how he's arrived at 18 points. From the backside, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi came to help Chris Dunn to the ground. Oh, missed dunk!
Big break for Dallas.
Klay Thompson at the other end. That's a 5-point break for Dallas. A miss into the floor, hitting bullseye Klay Thompson. 4-3 Kawhi. Rimming out. Spencer Dinwiddie has not made a field goal in this game. He's got 2 points at the line. But they're dialing up the right number now. Dialing up number 3, and he scores 2.
Yeah, get it to number 3. Offense through Anthony Davis right now.
Zubac screening. Harden short on a runner. He's been pretty golden on those little runners and floaters and teardrops tonight. Dinwiddie transition. Nope. Lively offensive rebound. Back to PJ. Up no good. Battle for the ball on the floor. Multiple players going after it. Leonard. Down the lane, Harden. Stop. Three players doing the heavy lifting for the Clippers. Harden 22, Zubac 18, Kawhi 18. Conference Player of the Year and a high lottery pick, 5th in 2016. Marshall went in for Dinwiddie a moment ago. And an ISO up top. Anthony Davis on the drive, a bit strong. Caleb Martin is at the scorer's table for the Mavs. Kawhi Leonard, cross-court pass. And then a long bounce past 10 minutes Wednesday night. And we would expect that that will be the ballpark figure. Oh, coming out to block the 3 is PJ. Norman Powell had that 3 stuffed and then take it to the cup.
Couldn't agree more. They're still in this game.
And 8-8. Clippers have won 13 of their last 16 games. Going into action tonight, they've got to win to keep pace with Memphis and Minnesota, who both won close games tonight. Memphis beat Detroit. Minnesota barely beat Philadelphia. AD guarding Harden. On the move, caught and 21 for Zubac. A spectacular game for Zubac, who over the last 17 is averaging almost 20. Having his finest season in his time with the Clippers. Klay Thompson keeps it up, puts it up and in. Feels like there's a lot of headwinds blowing against the Mavs, but they just continue to show some dogged determination not to fall too far out of range. 12-point lead. The score inside by Kawhi. And then it's slapped away by Kawhi. Run out dunk, Leonard. He's taken a lot more floaters this year and shooting them more effectively, around 45%, and that's been a bread and butter shot for him tonight. Harden, Zubac, Leonard, the trio leading the way, but seems to be blocking that out here as he goes to the line.
Got them both.
That's the first time he's gone to the line tonight for 2 free throws and made both of them. Powell with the drive to a spot below the free throw line and knocked down easily by Norman Powell. Powell averages 22 points a game, shoots 49% from the floor. Shots good for Caleb Martin. Martin growing into a bigger role with Dallas. 6 points, 3 assists in 14 minutes tonight. Solid defender. Leslie said at the outset tonight they'll look to him with Jaden Hardy hurt, and J-Kid said that the other night as well with no Brandon Williams. That when Dinwiddie's not in the game, he's one of the several individuals they'll look to second half of the third quarter. With the ball, Caleb Martin. Kai Jones is in. Kai had a very productive first half. 8 points in the first half. Keeping the ball alive was Kai Jones. And now Caleb Martin will drift out to the corner. A bit much on that three-point try by Martin. Martin hasn't dialed in the range on his threes in his time with Dallas. Including tonight, he is 2 of 11 on threes in 11 games with the Mavs. But the range is dialed.
Just when you think they're going to put a dent in the score, somebody pops up and makes a three.
And with that, now the Clippers have their biggest lead of the game, up by 15. Teardrop too strong off the glass for Marshall. Mavs are outboarding the Clippers in this game by 4. But that was a trip where it's just one shot and a defensive rebound by Zubac as he closes in on the double-double. A driving layup is made by...
Really
and takeaway. PJ put it down. Chris down the rip. He's got Norman Powell coming with him. Deflected by Caleb Martin. Ball. And now the car is getting pretty far away in the distance. Headed towards the back third of the third. A show and go by Marshall. A takeaway by Norman Powell. Bogdanovich leaves it for Norman Powell, who's trying to grow into the game here in the third quarter. Misses on the shot, and Dallas rebounds. Kind of a quiet game for Powell. 9 points. He's 4 for 11 from the floor. Pick and roll involving Dinwiddie and Jones. A missed 60% almost for the Clippers tonight.
58 points in the paint.
For the Mavericks, they went into last night's game having shot 51.5% in the previous 9 contests. Oh, wow, Derek just... Mavs had shot 51.5% over a 9-game stretch. Then they were held to 40. That is with all of his points at the line tonight. 4 made free throws. Separating from Kai Jones to the basket. Even Zubac.
Contact.
10 for 10 now.
He has had a phenomenal game.
Marshall got it.
Called to make.
It's 3 players doing the heavy lifting for the Clippers. 27 from Leonard, 24 from Harden, 23 from Zubac. The Mavs only have 2 players in double figures. AD 23, Clay 14. Kick.
17 big.
Harden darts into the paint. Back jam, Zubac.
Almost a pass.
Down the lane, a wraparound by Dinwiddie to Kai Jones.
Man, that's the guy you want, Kai Jones.
As it stands right now, Had an 8 for 8 while playing way back when with the Lakers against Brooklyn.
Make excuses, but not enough making.
Worm under the first apron hard count came out earlier today. 4 different times he has sprained his right ankle this year. This is 17 games that he's been unavailable due to those ankle sprains. Now, being doubtful today, maybe that leaves you in play for the next game. It's 72 hours until they play again against the Lakers on Wednesday. Here's Max Christie. Deflected ball, but right to Kai Jones. Another deflection, but that one doesn't fall for Kai Jones. It's a takeaway by Derek Jones Jr. Bogdanovich wide open. Oh boy is right. Shot attempts limited. That lower abdomen for a minute. He's back on the floor, deemed to be able to go here for some run in the fourth quarter. Clippers are in control of the game. 105-82. Dinwiddie launches. Ben Simmons playing tonight. He sat on the front night of the back-to-back last night due to injury management. Kawhi Leonard playing a back-to-back for the first time since
30 points seemed like an easy thing,
but then came back and played games 2 and 3 against Dallas, but did not look like himself. And then set the remainder of the series after playing games 2 and 3. The Clippers evened the series in games 4, and game 4 that is, before Dallas won games 5 and 6. Harp on it, Hart.
Harp on it. Don't put a ticket, right? It's their defense. Their defense
are salty.
Very stingy.
But it's hard to defend that. Free throw attempts in this game, he's made 6. Drew a loose ball. He was elbowed by teammate Daniel Gafford.
Very unfortunate.
Missed a chunk of the second quarter of the game. Going to the back to have that taken care of. Davis now at 25 points. And a corner 3 is made by Nick Batum. As a result, he is 20th in the league in three-point percentage this year. Batum is a bit over 41.5% on the deep ball this season. Dinwiddie, driving kick, PJ in the corner. Got a rebound by Leonard. He's got a teammate down. Derek Jones Jr. is down behind the play. The Clippers are playing 4v5 on offense right now. Here's Ben Simmons, and Simmons tossed it in with the right hand. Tonight in 9 minutes for Ben Simmons, who started the year with Brooklyn and is playing in his 15th game since joining the Clippers. 4 points, 4 boards, 3 assists a game in a bench role. Klay Thompson for 3 for the Mavs. Running the floor, Derek Jones on the up and under. Full figures for the Clippers. It's just those 3.
Didn't need anything else.
They have been sensational from the jump ball tonight. Harden driving and scoring or facilitating.
He and Kawhi set the tone early.
Kawhi playing a Kawhi-like game, and Zubac's a force inside. Davis is still out there, so is Lively. Post up here, Anthony Davis against Derek Jones Jr.
Been the better team.
2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row.
7 seconds is the unofficial number I have on him.
I think I'd start thinking about getting some of those guys out of there. Not to say you're giving up, but I mean, at some point, you have to be smart about it.
Play against Ben Simmons. Now, obviously, the Mavericks have a very big night to prepare for. That will be Emotional for the Lakers, for Luka, for the Mavericks, for the fans, for everybody on Wednesday night. Shot by Klay Thompson missed. Lakers are part of the 3-4 battle with Denver, but the thing about it is neither of those teams, 3 and 4, look, the 5 through 8 teams are playing so well, as we mentioned earlier. Somebody could creep up, not only miss the play-in, but could creep into the top 4 if anyone goes south in the last week of the regular season.
So it still boils down to what you're doing, not necessarily just what other teams are doing.
Control what you can control.
That's right, man. We say it all the time.
Later in the week, the Mavericks are going to look to the Clippers to give them an assist, because the Clippers are one of the number of tough games that the Sacramento Kings still have to play. The Mavs are going to drop down into a tie with the Kings, which means the Kings will be 9th, Dallas will be 10th.
Highlighted all night long. Don't get a chance to say perfect all the time, but perfect for him this evening.
Max Christie has gone in. So has Dwight Powell and Kai Jones. Christie drains a jump shot. We'll have a little long stretch against his brother Cam Christie tonight, and they're going to play approximately the same amount of time on the court together tonight, it would appear, as last night. That double-double stretch for Zubac started March 16th, by the way.
Take out of this one, man. I think it's safe to say Kawhi. And being Kawhi.
Yes.
Again.
And he's not going to have to fret over back-to-backs, obviously, in the playoffs. But as a player, Hart, when you know that, now that was kind of the last hurdle, if you will.
Yeah. Agreed. To see if he could go. I mean, he played a lot of minutes tonight. 25
minutes tonight, and there was an undisclosed minutes restriction. Probably could have played more if needed. Dwight Powell on the three-point attempt. This is his 3rd one this year.
Well, I think he could have played effectively.
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about.
Tonight, career game number 702 for Powell. 697 of them with Dallas. Powell 5th. Mavs history in games played. Kai Jones.
Really nice by Martin.
I mean, I know we're all focused on the current state of affairs, and the play-in tournament race, but thinking the future. Making the most of it with by far the most effective games of Kai Jones' young NBA career. Let's see, tonight 100. He came to the Mavs having never scored more than 12 points in a game, and I believe he's done that 6 times now. He's got 16 tonight. And here is Cam Christie with an opportunity, and he outfights his brother for the rebound, but then missed a layup. Max tipped it away, but there was a tip attempt for Kai Jones a moment ago. So
talking over the last couple of days, and Max said, no, actually, we've hung out pretty much all day, and we told each other what we saw out there. So they were helping critique each other. I think is pretty cool as well, guys.
Max Sr. played at Wisconsin Superior, and Christina played at Northwestern. Katrina played at Northwestern.
That's fun stuff. That's a nice story.
Man, Max was, I saw him in the meal room after the game at the hotel last night. Yeah. He could not stop grinning when I brought it up. It's like, you guys got to play more than 27 seconds against each other tonight.
Yeah.
Clock's running out on how much we'll be able to see of it for the remainder of this season. For 3, Kobe Brown. By the way, I was running down the list of these 16 sets of brothers last night in the NBA.
Yeah.
I actually overlooked a couple on my list. I only did 14 of the 16.
That's
I forgot to mention last night Larry Nance Jr. and leaders that the Mavericks may have to get more familiar with. That's the only team they can play in the playoffs. If the Mavericks, Phoenix is still part of the whole thing. And then if you're 9 or 10, well, if you're 9, you get to host a home game.
Right.
And then whoever wins the 9-10 game plays the loser of the 7th place versus 8th place game, which is played at the home arena of the 7th place team. And then whoever doesn't come out on top has another chance. If you're 7 or 8, you have 2 games to win one.
Right.
If you're 9 or 10, you got to win 2. But it has happened, and the Clippers know all too well on the wrong side of it that it can happen. You can lose 2. You can go in 8 and lose 2. That's what happened to them.
Yeah.
Back in 2021.
That's why I called it.
Or 22, I'm sorry.
That's why I called it the scariest thing.
Yeah, the scariest 2 words, play-in tournament. Play-in's hyphenated. 1 word, play-in tournament.
Nobody wanted to hear that, fellow, at the time.
You were speaking big facts on that, for sure. Patty Mills, that is his, took a decade of playing with the Spurs system and reeled to 6. There's 2 bones. In the final week of the, you could find yourself in the bottom half of the bracket real quick.
Yes, sir.
The West is going to be wild. Between the 3-8 race, Oklahoma City's already, they've had 1 locked down for a while. Houston's poised to be 2. There's that chaotic 3 through 8 race. And then, of course, there's 3 teams racing for spots 9 and 10 in the play-in tournament. Mavs, Kings, Suns. Our old buddy Jalen Brunson is back into the equation for the Knicks tomorrow.
We've been waiting.
Kobe Brown running the floor. The dying embers of this game reach 100 points on the Max Christie free throws.
I was going to have to regroup before Wednesday.
I said this about the February 25th game when the Mavs and Lakers played. You know, we certainly understand the emotional nature of it for Luka. There's an emotional nature for the Mavs side of things too. And I mentioned this on podcast and interviews. You know this, when you face your old team, and whether it's the player who was traded or the old teammates.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot on the line for the old teammates too, and it's not disrespect or anything like that. It's just when you played with someone and you battled against each other in practice, and then you get like that.
You wanna get the best of whatever is out there, right?
Yep.
And I like that. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
It is a fraternity. There's a lot of close relationships within the fraternity. But for this sport, for 48 minutes on the court, for football for 60 minutes, for football for 90 minutes, you know, there's no friends when you step inside.
No way.
The whistle blows, there's no friends to start the game. The whistle blows at the end, we're friends again.
Your buddy gets you in a bad way, you hammer him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Davis, Leonard, Zubac, and Harden were all tremendous for the Clippers tonight. Major hat tip to that trio. The Clippers will sweep the season series, or will win the season series 3-1 against Dallas. They will win for the 14th time in the last 7 games, and they remain ultra